Citibank is one of the largest banks in the United States, and they recently announced they are debuting deposit and trade services on blockchains for institutional clients. Additionally, some very interesting connections have come up between Citibank and Quant Network, and in this video we are going to explore, could Citibank be using the Quant overledger and the Quant token for their new tokenized assets on blockchains for institutions. Additionally, Hedera has built their very own all-in-one stablecoin platform, which has seen some adoption from banks in South Africa as well as South Korea, and this comes a couple of weeks after the FedNow instant payment system added Hedera-based drop to their partners. You can expect to hear about all of this and more in today's daily market update. So, it was announced on Monday that Citibank has debuted deposit and trade services on blockchains for institutional clients. So it was announced here on Monday, September 18th, that banking giant Citi actually introduced Citi Token Services, which will tokenize clients' deposits so they can be sent anywhere in the world instantly. The bank is now using smart contracts to automate the trade process, which effectively are self-executing programs that run automatically on the blockchain. They say here, once the company has received agreed upon services from a canal authority, the token will be automatically paid out, as Citi's new service could reduce transaction processing times from days to minutes. While crypto remains in regulatory limbo and prices have been almost stagnant this year, respectfully disagree. They must have not been watching Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a ton of altcoins. Renewed excitement about tokenizing real-world assets using the blockchain has emerged as one of the hottest topics this year. In fact, we saw a note from Bernstein here that about $5 trillion worth of real-world financial assets could be tokenized on blockchains over the next 5 years. At the moment, Citigroup is using a private blockchain for its new services, and whether Citi or a company like it will ever have use for public blockchains in the future will depend on regulations. Now, I do want to talk about this in respect to Quant, because just because Citi is not using a public blockchain, that does not mean that there is not any crypto projects that are set to benefit from these tokenized assets. In fact, I do believe that Quant here is one of the potential biggest winners in the next bull run in terms of tokenization and interoperability. And we did see a tweet here from San L11, who is a pretty big Quant bull here on Twitter. And basically what he says is, guess where Citigroup tokenized deposits before? Yup, LACCHAIN via Overledger. And for those of you that don't know, LACCHAIN is in fact a direct partner with Quant, and they have actually used the Quant Overledger for established banking partners to benefit from interoperable infrastructure for fast, easy cross-border payments and implementing different use cases throughout the region by using tokenized currency. So here was an article, and basically what it says is that IDB worked closely with Citi's innovation labs on a cross-border payments proof of concept. For the proof of concept, the IDB deposited funds denominated in dollars in a Citi account, which were then held, tokenized, and transferred using digital wallets. Exchange rates, payment status, and fees were traceable and transparent at all times, as the transaction could be checked in the LAC blockchain, explains Marco Allende. And now if we take a look here at the next slide, you're going to see that this is once again from Marco Allende. It's been more than a year since we started an ambitious line of work with Quant to enable a solution for tokenized money on LACCHAIN. As a committed partner, they've brought exceptional expertise and technical proficiency to the project. So, based on this article, we can see here that Citigroup was in fact working with LACCHAIN to test these tokenized deposits, and we can now see that they have announced their very own tokenized deposits for instant settlement via a private blockchain at the moment. And that is a-okay for the Quant Overledger, because aside from tokenization here, which is definitely one of the biggest features for the Quant Overledger, essentially it allows for exactly what Citigroup is aiming to do here. They're basically looking to take these real world assets, this physical cash, and tokenize it here for instant settlement payments. And that is something that they can do with just a couple of clicks via the Quant Overledger. So for starters, we can see the Quant Overledger is built to simplify tokenization through the Overledger token flow, letting you create institutional grade tokens that will interact on the chain of your choice now and in the future in minutes and without any need for coding expertise, as the Quant team handles all of that on the back end. And we can see here that tokenization does not only, pertain to digital currencies. We have the use of CBDCs, currency trials and deployment, cross-border payments and next-generation payment systems, as well as alternative asset digitization, fund tokenization, and supply chain monitoring. Now, it's interesting because if we actually take a look back here to April of 2023, we can actually see that Quant posted an article from Citigroup, and they said here that banking giant expects 4 trillion to 5 trillion of tokenized digital securities and 1 trillion of DLT-based trade finance volumes by 2030. So pretty interesting here that Quant was actually sharing this article here from Citigroup, basically talking about how bullish they are on the future of tokenized assets. And as confirmed by CNBC here, and I believe directly by Citigroup, they are using a private blockchain. And this is why it's very important that the Quant Overledger does not only offer the tokenization feature, but also the bridge feature. So what this basically allows for is the tokens that are built and created on the Quant Overledger to be connected to multiple different blockchains. And if we actually go ahead and search here and then take a look at private, you can see here that it says right here on the Quant website, are you seeking a solution to bridging your private network to public chains? Talk to us about making this a reality. So not only does the Quant Overledger service private blockchains, but also public blockchains, and it does also have the technology here to connect these private and public chains. This could be a very big deal in the future if Citigroup does want to, if they are using the Quant Overledger and they choose to move to a different blockchain, then this is where the Quant Overledger bridge feature would come in handy. And one blockchain they might potentially consider using here, or one hash graph rather, would be Hedera. And we're going to hop into the Hedera news now, as we actually saw earlier this week that they created their very own stablecoin studio. And this is an open source SDK that makes it easy for Web3 stablecoin platforms, institutional issuers, enterprises, and payment providers to build stablecoin applications on the Hedera network. So they're basically touting this on their website as an all-in-one stablecoin platform. And to me, this sounds very similar to Ripple's platform, in which it basically offers easy-to-use development. You are also able to issue this stablecoin here and basically keep track through their proof of reserve for treasury management. And this is obviously very important, basically integrating on-chain oracles to manage stablecoin treasury, as well as token issuance programmability. And some of the things that Hedera does actually boast here, which they do think makes it a prime technology through the hash graph for stablecoin settlement, is being able of handling 10,000 transactions per second, offering a stablecoin transfer fee for a fraction of a penny, as well as 3.83 seconds to settlement finality. And if you compare that to the days that it takes right now for banks to settle money, that is definitely a big value proposition for building on the blockchain. Now, we can also see here that these are some of the stable coins already built on Hedera, and this includes Standard Bank, a South African bank and financial services group, Shinhan Bank, which is a South Korean banking and financial services provider, and then some smaller banks here like Cathay Bank, Jewel Bank, SCB Tech, as well as Rivia. So we can see here that Hedera does already have the institutional backing here and the proof of concept to just show you exactly why the hash graph is so powerful for stablecoin issuance. And they do also have their very own interactive sandbox here, which we're not going to get into today, but basically it does kind of let you test pilot the stablecoin studio here right on their very own website. Now, this comes a couple of weeks after we saw a very big piece of news for Hedera, basically a month ago, actually, just over a month, that the FedNow instant payment system actually added Hedera-based drop to their list of partners. So this is a big deal. We know that FedNow is a new program from the Federal Reserve. It says right here, drop listed in FedNow Service Provider Showcase. And if we actually go back and go to drop, and I want to find it on the Hedera website. Yeah, so we can see right here, Drop is powered by Hedera Hashgraph, and it basically is a micropayment platform for small value transactions in both Hbar, USD, and USDC. And this is a very big deal to see that they have been added to the FedNow instant payment system partners. So, I mean, you can see here clearly that Hedera, despite the regulatory uncertainty, the Federal Reserve has partnered up with an application that is, in fact, harnessing the hash graph. And just like the Stablecoin Studio webpage we just saw, the hash graph here is being utilized because of its incredible efficiency, handling up to 10,000 transactions per second. And given that a lot of this video was really focused on institutional adoption of crypto, I do want to wrap it up with this tweet that I sent out on September 15th. So I said a few years back, only retail was bullish on crypto. I said in crypto, but I meant on crypto. And institutions didn't care. Now institutions are bullish on crypto and blockchain technology, and retail does not care. Seems like a major opportunity to me. Just something to think about there. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed the content in today's video. I am wishing you all an amazing day, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.